Hey YouTubers, Hike with Mike here, of course. And today I'm going to do a tag. I know a lot of us are burned out on tags, but I think it's kind of important with staying inside and everyone getting cabin fever. I mean, I'm getting cabin fever big time. I want to camp out so bad, and I don't understand why backcountry hike-in campsites have to be closed. First of all, only hardcore hikers are going to go there, and they're introverts and they're solo. They're not interested in hanging out with a lot of people. They just want the solitude. So it's silly, in my opinion, for those places, you know, to hike in 5, 6, 7, 8 miles, and the camp is closed. So really frustrated. I've been trying to talk to like private property owners to see if I could camp out, because camping in the backyard is just not cutting it. It's nothing like ruining the camping vibe when you wake up to the garbage truck coming to pick up the trash. So I figured this would be a good time, since we're stuck inside, is kind of discovering more about our fellow subscribers and things like that. So if you don't want to do the tag, that's fine. If you don't have the time, that's fine. But today's tag is, what are the 5 songs that for you defined the 1990s? Being an 80s heavy metal guy, you know, when the whole grunge scene started, I wasn't really happy about it. It took me a while to get used to it, like everything with it takes me a while to get used to change, you know. I'm slow to adapt in that situation, you know. I like my old school stuff. But over time, and as time went on, I learned to really appreciate a lot of the songs from the 1990s. And I'm going to give you the 5 that for me really defined the 1990s. And then I'll tag some people if you want to go along, and tag the 5 songs that for you defined the music and the essence of the 1990s. So one cool thing about the 1990s is there was a lot of female singer-songwriters that really were at the forefront of a lot of the music that were really popular. Sarah McLachlan and others. I have 2 that I'm going to mention here on my tag, but it was kind of cool to see that, you know. So let me begin here. The first song that defined the 90s, that I always think when I hear the song, I always go back to the 90s, and I just remember the video. The video was kind of funny too. Is Blind Melon's No Rain. It had just a catchy hook to it, and it was a fun video and a happy video. It was kind of cool, you know. So that definitely is a song that, if I think about the 1990s, Blind Melon's No Rain would definitely be in there. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to disagree, because they're going to be like, no, you should have picked this and picked that. But this is a personal thing, and these are the ones that defined the 90s for me. Another one was, and this was late in the 90s, almost, I don't want to say 98 or 99, the New Radicals had a song, Get What You Need. And I was like, whoa, this song is awesome. I was like, it almost sounded like more of an 80s song, and it sounded a lot like a Cheap Trick song. But to me, it's a fun song. I like it a lot, you know. That beat's good, and it's a good song while you're driving along and you hear it and you really get into it and stuff. Another one that I love, this song, I love this band too, actually. The Smashing Pumpkins, the song 1979. Even though it's a song, you know, with a 1979 title in there, it's a 90s song. But it's a song, I think, that kind of, it's one of those epic songs that come around every once in a while, where everybody kind of listens to it and they get their own different perspective on it. It kind of makes you think back to those who were alive. What was I doing in 1979? And you kind of think about the memories of the 70s, even though it's a 90s song, which I think is really cool. So then I have the 2 female singer-songwriters. One of them I had mentioned before, because I think her album is the best album of the 1990s, and I also did a video on my favorite song, which I believe I can't get internet access in this swamp at all, so I wanted to look it up to make sure. I think the song's called Perfect. It wasn't a big hit on her album, but that's one of my favorite songs from the 90s, and overall it's one of my favorite songs. It's a great song if you haven't heard it. But let me get to the other female singer-songwriter, and then I'll leave with the song I think the most, for me, defined the 90s. Lisa Loeb had a song called Stay. and it's just a cool, funky, not funky, just cool, fun song, you know. Um, and I always liked that, and I always liked her music a lot. I liked her CDs. I listened to them a lot. And what's cool about Lisa Loeb is she recently did Stay at Home. That some music artists, you know, they play songs from the house. I saw Dennis DeYoung doing that, and a couple of other artists, and she did Stay, and she looked just like she did in the 90s, and sounded just like she sounded in the 1990s too. So she's ageless. But check it out. It's really a great song. It's like, whoa, it's 2020. I feel like I'm in 1995. So pretty cool. And then the next song is from an album that is one of my favorite albums, Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. I love that album a lot. And you know, like I said, I'm more of a 70s and 80s guy, but that is a great album. And my favorite song from it, wasn't a hit, was called Perfect, but there was a lot of hits from that album or CD. But the one that really stuck to me was Ironic. I really like that song. It has, it's a fun video too. Kind of how, it's ironic, but it's like when you look at the video, they're kind of going with like a psychological theme with it, which is kind of cool. And those would be my 5 songs that for me define the 1990s. And now it's tag time, and I know one of you probably roll your eyes, not another one, but here we go. I always love to get the perspective of this guy. He's kind of like my kindred spirit across the Atlantic in England is Rhialobran. So you're tagged. Can't wait to see what you come up with, because you really shocked me with the last tag with Iron Maiden. Eat Carbs, I'll tag him. Because I know after I tagged him on the favorite album, and it was a 90s album, so I think he's a 90s guy, so he should have a lot of fun with that. Nicole Hikesalot, I'll tag her. Falcon, I'll tag. And then my Florida boys, the Carbs Outdoors, I'll tag them. Curious to see what 5 songs define the 90s for them. And that's it. Hope you enjoy. Stay safe and have fun, because that's always good medicine.